Hi, and welcome back to the Teams Insider podcast. This week we are going deep on the TAP program, the Technology Adoption Program. So this is the program where customers and partners get to test features early and give feedback to Microsoft. We talked to Alex Ivanov, who's a product manager there. In particular, he looks after Teams devices, Teams Android devices, and we get deep into how that testing program works, how it works with the OEMs and with the customers, how you give feedback, and what happens to all that feedback. Really interesting conversation with Alex, and also there's an opportunity to join that program. So if you listen and feel like it's a fit, there is a link in the description to submit your interest. Thanks again to Alex for joining the pod and giving us such a great conversation. And also many thanks to Logi, who are the sponsor of this podcast. Really appreciate all their support. On with the show. Hi everybody, welcome back to the podcast. This week we're going deep on Microsoft Teams and Android devices. Alex is a known face in the community, and he just recently did a session at aka.ms Next talking about this, and I grabbed him afterwards and said we've got to do a podcast on the same topic. So welcome to the show, Alex.
Thank you so much, Tom. It's my pleasure to be with you and have a chat about TAP and Teams.
Awesome. So let's start off with you and kind of your journey in Microsoft and your current role.
So I'm a product manager at Microsoft, CMD organization. Well, now it probably has more letters, but basically the focus is on call-in meetings, devices, immersive experiences. And as a product manager, my product is quality, and right now my primary focus is devices, and also I'm working on the customer feedback, so all things NPS on devices, it comes from me. I'm reading that, and as a product manager, to gather all that feedback and turn it into constructive feedback and actionable feedback, I also a program manager, so I run program we call TAP 100, which stands for Technology Adoption Program. But the focus is to gather all this feedback from our customers and make sure that we address all feature requests and all issues that customers discover. And again, primary focus is to make sure that whatever we build is a high quality and very delighting to our customers. So yeah, that's my job.
That's awesome. I love the product being quality. That's such a great way to think about it. And devices is quite a challenging area because it's a partnership ecosystem model. So it's Microsoft and the OEM partners in the case of devices.
Yeah, absolutely. It's we have a huge ecosystem and a huge variety and diversity of devices and OEMs and partners, and we have two platforms. I mean, we have meeting rooms. We started with meeting rooms on Windows, and then we expanded into Android area. So our biggest growing area with Android devices, bunch of new OEMs and partners joining this program. Everybody wants to build meeting rooms for Teams, and we have phones to support our customer needs, and we have new panels and whatever other product. Of course, peripherals is also very important in Teams world if you want to get high quality. And again, we build in new features, we certifying devices, and I'm deeply involved in every aspect that when it comes to quality.
Awesome. So the TAP program, like obviously some people listening to this podcast might be familiar, but plenty won't be. Talk us through what that actually is and how that works.
Yeah, absolutely. So TAP program is designed as an engineering program. It's a private preview by invitation only. And why we're doing this, we want to get customer feedback in early stages. We get our customers engaged at very early stages when our PMs are dreaming up the feature, and they build some mock-ups, and they come to customers and get feedback if, from multiple points of view, like, does it even make sense, and how, our vision to execute on that feature. So we get that feedback from customers, and we take it, and if necessary, we adjust and start building the product. And then we kind of check in with our customers on our progress and how features work. But why we do this, basically, we want to ensure high quality. We want to ensure that great experience with our, teams, with product, and Teams devices specifically. So, and what we do, we have this preview program where we recruit and onboard our customers. It's a unique group of people and customers that are dedicated to, I look at them not as a customers, but as our partners who are comfortable to be on the bleeding edge of technology, of Microsoft technology and Teams. And my goal is to take all that feedback and turn it into constructive, actionable items, actionable feedback, something that I can take it to engineering, I can take it to PMs and translate it into technical speak, and make sure that whatever customers are looking for is implemented and the quality is high. And with TAP program, basically, we're using Teams as a platform, so all collaboration is done in Teams. So we have Teams team.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we have multiple channels dedicated to each area. Of course, I have an own and managed devices channel, and I manage my customers. And then there are
different TAP programs for different subsets of features as well, aren't they? So there'll be different TAPs temporarily or permanently for different areas of the product.
Yeah, I would say the program there is one program, but there are multiple work streams happening within this program. There are big areas for like calling meetings and devices and immersive meetings, and Copilot obviously is a big part of it now. And we have dedicated PMs that drive those areas. Again, I'm focused on devices, and as part of my portfolio, like, what do I do, right? So I do all things as a software validation. So Teams app for devices, authentication app. We had a huge project that we're wrapping up.
Yeah, it's been a busy 18, 24 months, hasn't it?
Yes, yeah, it was AOSP, which is, I'm very pleased with the result. I think we took very balanced and highly focused approach to deliver and test out, and that's again where our partnership with customers came big time. Basically, again, we recruited customers for this validation, and we were releasing AOSP-based firmware to customers. They were testing it in their environment. That's a big part of private preview, because we build features and in our environment, right? And we test features in our environment. And when we testing, we know how they're supposed to work, right? So we essentially have this creator bias. And when we testing in our environments, of course it works. Of course it works as expected.
You know what combination of buttons you're expecting to press. You press them in that order, and the code works.
Yeah. We absolutely know how it works, and of course it works perfectly. It's like flawless. But with TAP, we bring our TAP customers with their environment, with their unique, policies and network setup and security setup, and totally different user expectation or life expectations. And that's where it actually might break because, what we think, fantastic thing and, something brilliant, since sliced bread was invented. For customers, based on their experience, it could be not exactly what they're looking for, even though we're talking the same words, right? Or
Yeah, and
same feature, but
that's where Tap's really interesting for me, because it's a
yeah,
combination of technical validation, like does it work, but the feedback from the customers. And
yeah,
I've heard calls where it's interesting where two different customers are complete opposite opinions of the feature. Like
yeah,
it really suits us and our way we work, and it doesn't really suit this customer. So it's not black and white. It's a kind
yeah.
of sea of grey.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because everybody has their unique experiences, and they have perception of those unique, the features based on their unique experience. And then, of course, there is reality hit that, your network built in one particular or architected and built in one particular way, and there is security settings that, might not necessarily allow. So we find all those things in this validation process, and that's how we learn, and we again, I run very structured validations, as you know, and yeah, so my file debug, it's like running line on my forehead, and but again, it allows to take that freewheeling feedback into something structured and constructed, that I can take it to engineering,
Yeah.
and they can translate it, they can look at the logs because logs are attached, so they can get like much more down to earth technical information, environmental information, like to actually enable them to root cause and fix it or redesign. So that's part of process, and that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it's great. I think it's a really great opportunity for customers because they get to see some of the early process. So they see what's coming down the pipe, because this is stuff that
Yeah.
they're going to eventually probably deploy to their business.
Yeah.
And they get a unique opportunity to voice their opinion. Doesn't mean it's always going to get accepted or rejected in either way, but
Yeah.
you have that chance to have your say on direction, which is huge, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, and actually, it never gets rejected. It's we listen, our ears wide open, our eyes are wide open. If customers have any suggestions, we document it, and it goes on the backlog. It doesn't go anywhere. It's in the backlog, and if it makes sense, if enough customers talking about one particular feature, we will prioritize. We have a process, and we prioritize, and we will introduce at some point.
Yeah. So you mentioned it, like I think we've talked about some of the real advantages of being on it. There is a commitment for customers to engage and spend some time on doing testing and being engaged in the weekly calls and things.
Yeah, absolutely. That's actually a very good point. I mean, it's very cool to be in a private preview program for Teams. You get again, in order for us to get feedback from our customers, we actually need to expose you to all those features very early, and basically we have rings, and like because I'm in product group, I live in the ring 0, but our customers IT admins actually get placed very close to the product group, and basically we dog food in big time internally, and at some point when we have enough confidence that it works very well for us from usability point of view and from quality, because again, I do my business day-to-day job based in dog food environment, so it's actually pretty good. So at some point we expose our customers IT admins to those features very early, and the main focus is to get initial feedback, like at the functional level. Does it work in a customer environment? Again, customer environment is unique. And does it make sense? I mean, in addition to IT admins, we also onboard power users. So again, adoption specialists or trainers from the customers. So again, they kind of represent their user base in their organization, and they provide feedback, aside from break fix, like does it even work in their environment, but then does it make sense? Does the feature use flow make sense? Does it do what they expect, what their user expects? So that's a very first kind of line of defense on the customer side. And another benefit of having IT admins in this early ring is they technical enough, so when they find the problem, and they can file a bug, and they can actually can speak engineering talk, right?
Yeah, enough.
And we can go back and, get like in more structure, like, okay, what are repro steps and what did you do and what did you expect to happen? And then can you get more logs? And then, they technical enough. I mean, they very technical people, so we can work at engineering level to gather information, to root cause, and then when we fix it, again, roll out to them and get this highly technical, feedback that did we fix it? Does it work in again the customer environment? And then next step, actually, we have feature testing at scale. Basically, the next ring is where customers can onboard their basically main population of users, business users, and again, we do get feedback at the user level, meaning usability point of view, but also we get some test scale testing from that, because feature might work perfectly, or backend can handle anything when there is only 10 users, but when we have millions of users, well, that's a scalability question.
Yeah.
So
you throw these AI features out, and suddenly the cogs are quite extravagant as you get into the millions of users.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, even features as simple as a read receipt, it could it could have a significant impact on your backend. So yeah. And then when it comes to devices, it's even more interesting, because it's not just feature enablement on the backend and rolling out to the client, but we also have to get that particular Teams app version on that particular device. And there are so many variables, like there is a Teams app, there is an authentication app, there is Intune app now with OSP, and then there is a OEM partner management app, and then the whole firmware package. So there is a lot of work streams happening just on the physical device to get physical device up to date, in addition to features. So basically, a lot of focus is on software quality. So all updates, like right now we're testing update number 8 for phones, right? And we testing hotfix for MTRAs. So all that going through. I mean, it went through internal testing, and now it's released to our preview customers. And now I'm basically doing a lot of marketing for my customers to install that software and test all those exciting features that come in. And again, if they find something, they file a bug, and we go and fix it. In addition to that, all those apps and we release firmware packages again before they go GA. So there is a lot of going on in this area. Another work streams that I own, we do certifications, obviously. So
let's talk through that. I mean, I've talked about it on the
Yeah.
pod before, but like certification in the sense of not just anyone can say they've got a Teams device; they have to go through this process. So what does that look like?
So yeah, it's an industry standard, right? I mean, I remember good old times when anybody could slap Skype logo on headset, and you never know, if it really works. Usually it works, right? I mean, the most popular headset at some point was Apple EarPods, because everybody got them with their phone.
Yeah.
But if you really want, high quality audio with, advanced features and call controls, you probably want to get, you definitely want to get a certified headset and certified, especially headset for audio quality, because it's like everybody using
Yeah,
devices.
it's not just vendors can pay money and get the badge, is it? They have to
Yeah.
submit hardware. It's thoroughly
Yes.
tested. Like there's a lot to it.
Absolutely. So basically, they go through a third-party certification company, which they partner with, we partner with. But on top of this industry standard certification, we get we add additional layer of TAP certification. Basically, it's more comprehensive. It's not as deep technical. 300 plus industry standard tests on decibels and levels and a whole 9 yards. But it's again, user experience comes into play, and we get we get some very interesting scenarios where customers find some specific issues specific to their environments that might not necessarily even get covered in industry standard, because industry standard testing is there is micro steps, right? And each step checks out, it's all good. But when you put it all together, there might be a hiccup, and we discover it and we fix it with our partners. So it's a great user focused, I would say, additional layer of certification validation. And you've probably seen some of my demos. So yeah, it's great. And then another areas that I own and I mentioned is NPS. So we track user delight. We need to track it somehow, right? And there is again industry standard for user delight tracking or user satisfaction tracking is Net Promoter Score. It's the beauty of this platform is that applicable. It's not industry specific or area specific. It's across the board. You can look it up. NPS for Apple, for Tesla, for Ford, for hotels, anything, any company, and there is that the number NPS score translates just fine across the board. So the way we get this Net Promoter Score is we ask users questions, right? So some customers, some users are not happy about it. Totally understand it, because you just got off the call, you just got off the meeting, and we pop the question. But it's not because we want to keep you busy, or we want to distract you, or we want to annoy you. We want to know what you think about our product and what your experience is. And many people think it goes to black hole. Well, it doesn't go to black hole, or I am the black hole. I actually read every single comment that our users put on their devices, and I deeply appreciate their effort, because it's a lot of fun to type comment on MTR.
Yeah, that people really care if they've taken the time to give the feedback.
Yeah. Well, and then again, mostly it's negative, because people care to type this in.
If everything went well, you're off to go about your day. It's if you've got a complaint. That's the nature of the beast, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's I read every single comment, and then I actually share all those comments. I aggregate the summary. I share it with the team. I have monthly call. So it doesn't go to the black hole. I am a black hole that actually reading all those messages. And sometimes there is a lot of passion. Totally understand it. But again, our focus is to deliver high quality user experience on every single surface that you interact with Teams, and Teams is a big part of it, especially with our offering on Teams rooms, where it's amazing solution, and we want to make sure that everything works. My ask to to the users, when you type in and you're passionate, I really appreciate the passion, but be more specific. If you're just saying that, Teams, in very adverse terms, not so good,
What's
did not
suboptimal for
meet your
me?
expectation. Yeah, if it did not meet your expectation, please let me know what exactly, because when it's generic, like, but if you say something along the lines like, oh, my microphone, wasn't good, or people didn't hear me, or video, or there was some flickering, or there was some, interruption or call drop or something. I mean, give me something that I can categorize and actually drill down and focus. So that's a lot of fun to do that review and share it with the team, because the team is amazing in listening feedback. I mean, I get GMs and GPMs, so all the way up, everybody listening in, and we have a very lovely conversation with drill down on some topics. I mean, when I read all the feedback, when I review all the NPS scores, I pinpoint some particular areas that kind of jumps out, right? But the team can zoom in on one particular area, and we drill down really hard and real deep, because again, we're looking at multiple feedback sources. We have our telemetry, we have our conversation with customers, even at events, like Infocom, or there is one in Barcelona. So
Yeah, I see
again, we go to those conferences not just to to show off, right? But also listen to our customers. We have multiple customer meetings, so we're all ears. We listen, and we take that feedback, and we look at telemetry, we look at NPS, we look at what's happening in TAP, and
It's really great to hear that, because it can
yeah.
kind of feel like Teams is such a huge product, hundreds of millions of users, well over 1 million rooms in play. It's nice for customers to hear that stuff is going back, and somebody does, like really care about that feedback, and it not just your job, but the whole product team then are taking that feedback. Yeah,
we are extremely customer focused. We're listening. I'm reading Reddit. I'm getting daily. I'm getting daily updates from Reddit about Microsoft Teams subreddit. LinkedIn is a place where I'm monitoring and proactively posting out. I mean, I'm monitoring all comments on your post and all MVP's post. Even in our TechNet articles also have a comment section. That's another area for feedback. But again, my goal is to take that feedback and make it actionable. So because when it just just a comment, then I might even go on this investigation if this particular customer is in a private preview, and I would reach out and, hey, I saw this feedback from your organization. Can we get it in a bug format? Or can you open a support case with Microsoft? So again, we get some real technical background and logs and stuff, and we can get it looked by engineering.
Awesome. And as we go into the new FY, you've got opportunity potentially for some more customers to come into TAP if they've been excited about this conversation, and you've got this far in the conversation if you're listening, so you're probably definitely interested in the weeds of how this stuff works.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm actually very excited right now because I am recruiting customers for Teams Android devices with some potential for MTRs on Windows as well. but my focus right now is to get Teams Android customers. And if you as a customer are comfortable to be on the bleeding edge and want to be part of this very cool very private program, you get to interact with me on a weekly basis. You get exposure to PMs, where PMs come to my meetings every Thursday, and they talk about features. They present.
Yeah, we get some great early briefings on what they're thinking, and again, they're willing to hear the feedback and the suggestions. Like it really is a chance to get an early view on what's coming down the pipe.
Yeah. If you want to be part of this cool and vibrant community for private preview, you can go to aka.ms/join Tap 100 and select option 5, Teams Android Devices Tap. That nomination will get into my hands. I'm monitoring that pipeline, and you get opportunity to see early preview. At this point, again, why I'm excited, we have this preview for Teams Android devices software preview. It's very now user-friendly or IT admin-friendly.
Yeah, let's talk through what you've done there, because it's a big step forward, I think, for the typical customer, isn't it? Because they can now select specific devices within their environment. So if, for example, put all the MTROAs in the IT building on tap and see how those work first.
Yeah. I mean, now there is literally granular control which devices can be provisioned for preview. And lots of flexibility, and it's a great opportunity for you to become our partner in this exciting bleeding edge technology journey with Teams.
Yeah, if you think you're interested, I'd definitely say put your name in the list, and you might get a chance to talk to Alex about it. There's a commitment there to do some work and test the features, but the visibility you get, particularly if you're a bigger Teams customer, like you get this chance to see what's coming down the pipe before it hits your mainstream users as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and speaking of commitment, I'm glad you mentioned it. There is definitely commitment, but in terms of time, because to get constructive feedback, you need to file a bug. But first time it might take you like 5 minutes to file a bug. But then you get better, and it just seamless. You run into issue or you don't it might not issue, but you don't like what happened, or how things behave. You just file a bug from whatever from Teams device, and then hopefully you put a good description. I mean, and there is follow-up, right? We will need to get the full picture, so there is some time investment. But I look at this and I hear from my customers that time investment is well worth it, because you get exposure to all those features, you get influence over how those features are executed, how they work. You get opportunity to influence, with your knowledge and how your environment built. That's what happened in AOSP, because when we were testing AOSP, we were releasing AOSP in a private preview, and initially some customers had challenges. Things just didn't work because of course, and not surprisingly, they work just fine in our environment, in our testing, but in their environment, there were some caveats around, in-tune configuration or MDM configuration. So there was all those questions that customers were asking, and they were able to kind of influence what we prioritize.
Yeah, it's some of the best engagement you're ever going to get. It's not like you're raising a generic support ticket to the generic support desk. You are right on that edge of like, okay, we need to work this out together because it has to work for customers.
Yeah, and it also helps us to prioritize like what we should address first, because we have our internal vision and data, what's priority, but voice of customers is very important, and again, we listen and we execute on it. So yeah.
Awesome. Alex, thanks for kind of opening the curtain a little bit on that TAP program. I appreciate the opportunity to be on it as well. It's definitely, if you're interested, we'll share the link in the description as well for the TAP program. So take a look at that. And Alex, maybe we'll see how the year of features go and catch up with you again in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I know everybody wants to, look behind the curtain, and I get a lot of questions like when things come in. I highly recommend, obviously, public roadmap for Teams public roadmap. I know you do a great job of posting on LinkedIn. Here is what's coming, because, some people get too busy with day-to-day jobs and keeping lights on. But also, message center post. It's a huge source of information, and it's even better than public roadmap because it has like very detailed, 10-paragraph feature description with pictures. It helps so much to understand what it actually does when there are pictures. So we post all that information in Message Center and all the updates to feature. I talked about AOSP. I should mention MDAP as well because it's a next wave of big things, big change that we're working on, and we already released multiple devices with MDAP support. And again, Chris had a great talk with you about what MDAP really
Chris has been on the podcast. We've got
Yav
Yav coming in about a month to do a deep dive on it as well.
But I have it on I have that flow going through private preview on consistent basis. So again, another reason to join Teams Android Devices tab. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on, Alex. Really appreciate it, and talk to you again soon.
Thank you so much, Tom. Such a pleasure talking to you.